everyone. That sound means one thing, and it means that we are live back here on the Comedy Time Machine. Steve Mazan, your pilot, and my co-pilot, Denise Mazan.
Welcome back.
We have a much less crowded
we do. I have elbow room.
time machine this week. Last week we had our co-pilots Lee Levine and Gary Cannon were back.
Did.
And just back to the two of us this week.
And this is our first kind of early morning. Which
we
you
did.
Can't
we
tell.
usually don't travel back in the morning, but this is pre-noon, which usually, as a comedian, I am not up pre-noon.
And he has pants on. This is
yeah, do I usually not have?
Well, you do, but like this early in the morning.
This early in the morning, I usually do not have pants on. That is true. So let's move on.
Is that too much information?
But this week we're going back to 2006, to this week, the third week in August 2006. We were married by this time.
We were married.
We were married, and
but we were in that first. When we get married in 2005?
2005 we got married.
Yeah, so we were in that first year. We were
That
still
first year.
battling for control.
It was.
I hadn't
really?
won yet.
I think you're not still battling. You think you've definitely won?
No, I do. I think that there are like those first few years of marriage. I think there's like themes to the first year. Like I think that first year, depending on when you get married, like we were in our 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that first year is about like we had like identity crisis. Each of us did. Like we were like.
We did.
Are you testing the?
I was making sure that this was all getting on tape. that I had evidence.
Yeah,
of it
remember
later.
like I waited to change my name for like 9 or 10 months. And then I went to DMV like 3 times, and then we had an argument when I left the DMV the day I actually changed my name, and you perfectly timed the argument to say you shouldn't have changed your name. No, I just think like when you're in your 30s, like we were mid-30s.
Yeah.
I just think you have a little bit of a like, oh crap, like I'm marrying the rest of my life, like that's a really long time.
Yeah.
And then the next year, which was this year, I think you have the like battle for control.
Wow, I didn't know all this was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I'm glad we went back in the time machine to relive all this.
Yes.
This battling. I
have a list of things I need you to do.
This is new to me. Well, listen, I don't remember any of that. I don't remember.
Well,
I guess
you don't have a great memory, to be fair.
Well, you know what? I think my memory is equally
has a good memory.
Equally as good. I think I've maybe glossed over all this. If it was, if there were battles for
control,
so in
love with me.
That was probably it.
You want to get to some movies?
Yeah, let's get to some movies. So these are the movies that were on the marquee this week, back in 2006, the third week of August. So we were here living in Los Angeles. So let us know where you were, and let us your intern, our intern, know. Well, we don't have an intern.
You guys have an intern. We don't.
We don't. We need an intern. So let us know where your intern, if you'd like to intern for us. We would love to have you. And we got some great guests coming up on the podcast in the future. So stay tuned for that. And again, you can find us always here on the Hangout. That's where we do. But you'll find us on iTunes very soon as well. Mm-hmm. So Comedy Time Machine. Oh, Denise got me a Time Machine shirt. It's actually the awesome DeLorean from one of my favorite movies, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Greatest movies of all time, I believe. Yep. And but let's talk about the movies.
When did that come out?
That was 1984, or no, 1985, because that's when they set the whatchamacallit, the time machine.
Capacitor.
The flux capacitor was the power, but the time machine, yeah.
Oh. I thought I sounded really smart.
No, you were. You got it right. That is what was used in it.
Okay.
But I think 85. I've said this to you before. That's one of the great years in my life.
Wow.
You know, the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl that year. Great movies like that came out. I think I had a girlfriend. There were a bunch of things. Yeah, I know. This is way before. We were fighting for control that year, so that was fun. Exactly. Yeah, that's right. That could be any year. But yeah, 85, a great year in my life. So yeah, I always think about that. It's a good one. So that's let's go back to 2006. Okay. This is what if you would come back with us this week in the Comedy Time Machine to 2006. This is what would have been on the marquee. We instead of doing the top 10, we do the top 11. What was on there, Denise?
Number 11 was The Descent.
The Descent, yes, this is a great scary movie.
I do not watch scary movies.
You don't watch
you're
scary
gonna
movies.
Have
You
to take
didn't.
the lead on this one.
One of my worries about this movie, I saw this with one of our co-pilots, Gary Cannon, and so check him out, of course.
Is this one of those movies where he would leave our house and running like with his butt kind of curled between his legs?
Yes, Gary's not much of a runner, but when he's scared, he runs extra funny,
like
a penguin.
Video of that to show. On
it would be.
He would love that.
Yeah, well, future episodes we'll get you Gary Cannon at Cannon Comedy on Twitter.
Which we forgot to mention. He's gonna.
There it is.
Yeah.
At Cannon Comedy. He's gonna what?
Oh, I don't know when.
Yeah, check your schedule. He's touring the Midwest right now with the Sullivan and Son guys. Gary does audience warm up on the show Sullivan and Sons on TBS.
Yeah.
So check that out. But The Descent, Gary and I try and catch all the scary movies together. We saw this one, and it was good. It was one of those this got a lot of attention that year for being kind of a rebirth of a good scary movie. There hadn't been, a lot of scary movies just suck. There's not a lot of effort put into them. They know people go to see them anyways and just get scared, and it's the same old things. But this was about a group of girls, so that was different. That go kerplunking, which is the rock climbing. I think that's the other name for it, or surplunking, something like that. Some type of plunking. Jim Plunkett. But so they go into caves, and there's these creatures in the caves. And but the one thing I thought about it kind of paid homage, but I thought stole. There's a fine line from a bunch of other scary movies. There's a bunch of scenes from other scary movies that they put into this movie, like even there's a famous at the end of Carrie. Mm-hmm. The original Carrie, this hand comes up out of the grave, and that happens in this movie, and a few other things from other scary movies. So I didn't think it was as good as everyone said, but it was a really good scary movie. But some people put this on best of all time list.
What would you give it
out of 4 stars? Yeah, I'd say it's a 3. It's a strong 3. It's pretty good. Right. Like I said, especially a good scary movie can be a 2.5 because they're usually not very good.
Okay, so you're giving it your.
Yeah, there's a weird scale. There's a reason not many scary movies are ever up for awards. You know what I mean? There's very few. Yeah. There's only a few like that. I'd say that deserve to be. Silence of the Lambs. Mm-hmm. Won Best Picture, but very few are up for nomination stuff like that. The Shining was great, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But let's move on. The next one.
Number 10 is.
Number 10, The Pulse. The Pulse. I looked this up and still didn't remember it. Did you?
No. Was it scary?
I don't think so. Yeah, no. Actually, it was. You know what? This had Kristen Bell, who's married to Dax Shepard now, and it's something like the internet takes things over. Again, incredibly low rating on IMDb. And I usually see scary movies, but didn't see this one. And it's something about it's like one of those. She's a hacker, but the online. Thing takes her over. Yeah, it seems very. Yeah, that's what you think about Kristen Bell. Yeah, exactly. She seems extremely smart and internet savvy. Okay, sorry.
Number 9, Material Girls. I did not see this.
Did not see it either.
Let's move on. I can't.
It's 2006 from a song
really
from
ones
1984.
Number 8 is Pirates of the Caribbean. Great movie.
Pirates of the Caribbean, but this wasn't the original. This was Dead Man's Chest.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, so the original was the Black Pearl. This was second. It might even been, I think it was the second one.
Oh, then it wasn't that good.
It was one of those. It was okay. All those movies were okay. They were fun.
The first one was so good, though.
First one's one of the great movies.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of fun. That was one of those. The original came out of nowhere. Like you think, it's a movie after a ride at Disney. But I remember seeing it and being like, oh my god, it's so good right from the get-go.
And Johnny Depp was so good in that. He said he emulated his part by one of the
Rolling Stones, Keith Richards.
Keith Richards, yeah.
I heard
remember Calvin, your nephew?
My nephew does a fantastic impression of Jack Sparrow running. A lot of people do him talking, and actually he does him running, and it's dead on. And your nephew
from when he was 12 years old would do it.
Yeah, exactly. This is so he's in his mid-teens now. So this is 2006. So this is this probably 7 or 8 year old doing
adorable.
a great. He does a great impression. I heard a great story actually about Johnny Depp that when the first one came out. So Orlando Bloom is the other kind of hero in the movie, and so he read his part and he was like, "Ooh, my part is very similar to Johnny Depp's the description. Johnny Depp's a pirate, but he's this officer who kind of becomes a pirate. Orlando Bloom is, and he's like, oh, we're both the heroes of this movie, kind of. How are we going to be too similar? How is Johnny going to play it versus how am I going to play it? And he said, and then he showed up the first day, and Johnny Depp had this crazy, effeminate, kind of over the top, gay, hard rocker thing going with mascara and stuff, and he's like, okay, I don't have to worry that we're too close. So yeah, it was very funny.
That's awesome.
But, yeah, I got to move on.
All right, moving on.
But
Number
next,
7. This is one of my favorites.
One of your favorites of all time, and I remember
great.
Right from the beginning you loved this movie.
Love this movie.
Like it didn't even have to grow on you.
Nope, Little Miss Sunshine.
Little
Great
Miss
movie.
Sunshine.
I loved it from like the very beginning when they get the call that she's going to the pageant and she screams and she's this little chubby girl and
she wore a fat suit. Did you know that?
She did wear a fat suit, and I love Colette. What's her name?
Toni Collette, the mom.
Toni Collette. And
Steve Carell, Greg Kinnear,
and then
we're not even mentioning Alan Arkin.
Alan Arkin, he passed away, right?
He's
Did he pass away?
Has he passed away? No, we need an intern. He definitely does in the movie.
I'm super sorry if
I don't think he has. Now that I think about it,
he does in the movie.
Yeah, we need an
but
Alan Arkin, what, dead or alive? Friend of the show. Definitely
totally
a friend of the show. Love Alan Arkin.
But I do have like a story about this show.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen the movie, you should watch it because it's really funny.
So
but
good.
if you have seen the movie, it is a spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie.
No, that's all right. I think that this is, 10
so
years
she
almost.
does this, like, the little girl who's probably, 8?
Yeah.
Something like that, does this little striptease as her
finale,
her talent at the talent show. And people are shocked because it's a pageant and you're supposed to do, like, singing and all that bullshit. So there's this biker guy that looks like a hard ass at the very end, and he stands up and he's like, yes, and he's just disturbing looking, and he claps, and then everybody else starts, they clap because they feel kind of like jerks.
Yeah.
So that guy used to work for me at Bodies in Motion.
Bodies in Motion, a gym here in Los Angeles.
Gym in Los Angeles. He's a kickboxer.
Yeah.
And so I'd have him subclasses, whatever. And so he would, like, email me, like, hey, do you want to go get coffee? And I'm like, shit. I'm like, I don't drink coffee. And he's like, something else, like, do you want to go get tea? I don't drink. I don't drink tea. And he's like,
I don't eat or drink.
What about ice cream? And I was like, okay.
So did you finally just have to say, like,
I'm your boss. I don't think
was that a cop out too, the boss thing?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Watch the movie. Yes. So, and then actually I was in
I hope he's not watching the
We're
podcast.
not mentioning we're not mentioning any names.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Even though he's still a friend of the show.
He's still a friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Yes. And then I saw him, and I guess his girlfriend or wife or whatever, and he wouldn't recognize me since like 12 years. But when I was buying dog food, and I was like, oh shit, there's what's his face.
Did you say hi?
No.
No. He's like, do you want to go get dog food somewhere?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't buy dog food. I just shop in dog food places.
Awesome.
Okay,
but that's a little brush with fame.
Yes.
Brush with fame.
Number 6 is Barnyard, the original party animals.
Did you see this? Because you said there's a few good movies coming up in a row.
Yeah, I glossed over that.
Oh, okay. Did not see this. This is obviously a cartoon. Did not do
which
that
I do normally see, but I didn't see this.
This one, yeah, this is one. The ones that are good
did not do
usually
that well.
stick
It's
out.
Number 6.
Yeah. But this could have been its 5th week out or something.
It
we
could
don't
have
know.
been.
But this is what I love about this one is I love when there's kind of a extra title to the movie. It's always great.
Yeah.
Because
it can't sell itself.
Right. So they got to tell you about it or something like that, or they've just come up with such a great tagline that they got to throw it in. It's one of my
Is it like Steve Mazan, the clean and clever comic? How dare you?
But that's not my
I'm totally
thing.
kidding.
Friend of the show, Cash Levy, from Cashing In with TJ Miller, friend of the show. Him and I love this. Like, there's always a thing, like one of the, like, Catch and Release, A New Time of Life. Like, there's just always those things. When that movie
came on, you and Cash would not
It was just one of the great titles ever, Catch and Release. It's just so cheesy. But this one isn't just Barnyard. It's called Barnyard, the original party animals. Like if you weren't sold by Barnyard, Like this might do it. Oh, these are the original party animals? Well, now I'm in.
That's
I wasn't going to see it, but
now I am.
I am. We didn't see it, so let's move on.
Okay, to Step Up.
Step Up. This is
the original Step Up,
this
which
is
is
the
now
number
there's
one.
like like Step Up 27
There's
or
a
something.
bunch of them, and yeah, this is the original. Did you
I do believe I did. I don't
Do you
remember
know
right now.
people from this movie?
I do.
Some of the Denise runs a dance studio, if we haven't mentioned that. Here in Los Angeles.
I don't remember the original Step Up, but I know.
You've definitely had teachers at your place who were in the Step Up series. We know that.
I have.
But we don't know about the original.
But I don't know which ones were in which now because there's been so many.
Here's what didn't see this one, I don't think. Although I've seen parts of other ones when it's on, it's on cable or stuff like that.
If we had an intern, we could just like run through the list.
That's true. But I could tell you the plot of this movie. There's a dance crew. And they meet another dance crew, and the other dance crew.
There's also a love interest.
The other dance crew is kind of mean. And they're kind of brash.
Yeah.
And they're obviously better. But these young upstarts and the love interest helps the kid kind of center himself. And his ragtag group of dancers.
Ragtag?
Yeah,
just make
ragtag.
Sound old.
Ragtag, isn't that still a word today? These young upstarts come and they come and they somehow get it all together just in time to beat that dance crew at the big thing. And
it might even start raining. Or that could have been like Step Up 4.
Yeah,
in 3D.
I think it could have been any of the Step Ups.
It could have been.
The
dancing's always really great.
It is impressive, and that's one of the things I think that it doesn't matter. That's why I'm making fun of the plot. It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Because if the dancing's good, if it's on cable, I'll watch it. I'll be like, oh, all right. Like, I got moves. Yeah. And number 4, Accepted. This is kind of. This is Jonah Hill, and I can't think of his name right now, but the kid from he played the Mac. I'm a PC, I'm a Mac.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And he's the star.
Didn't he date Drew Barrymore?
Yes, they dated. I don't think they're still together, but yeah, he dated.
No, she's married and had a kid.
Right.
Two kids.
But this is him. He goes to school. Jonah Hill's in the movie somehow as well. I think Louis Black.
I think I saw this.
Friend of the show, Louis Black, comedian. Plays a professor in the movie. Didn't get great ratings, and I remember even seeing the previews and thinking, I like those people. And this is kind of when Jonah Hill's really taken off. Yeah. This is when this kid, the Mac kid, I can't think of his name, I apologize.
That kid just left the planet. Where did he go?
I think he's still around. He pops up in things. He was I'm trying to think what movie I saw him in recently. It was very funny. But yeah, he's still there. I think just listen. We used to see him all the time with the Mac commercials. You forget how much those were on.
Yeah.
So, but Accepted. Yeah, it didn't do very well.
Number 3 is World Trade Center.
World Trade Center.
I'm sure I saw.
Did you see it? I didn't see it.
It was probably about the World Trade Center.
I think by the title it was about that. Yes, World Trade Center. You know who did this movie? One of my favorite filmmakers, but I didn't see it. Oliver Stone made this movie, and it stars Nicolas Cage.
Two?
What's it? 2 World Trade Center movies? Like
one that was super Hollywood, which was this one, and one that was better.
Oh, are you thinking United 93? The one about the flight?
I feel like there were 2 of those also.
Huh. That makes sense. We'll have to look. We need an intern to figure that out.
I did see this, and I thought it was really super Hollywood.
Nicolas Cage was the star.
I blocked it. Because I block most Nicolas Cage movies.
Well, he's great in some things, and other things he was
very good. I liked him in The Rock.
The Rock, he was great, and one of my favorite movies of all time.
Leaving Las Vegas, Loving Las Vegas, Dying in Las Vegas, Losing Las Vegas.
That whole series of Las Vegas movies. He's got some ties to Las Vegas because he did that, and he did Honeymoon in Vegas, which I thought he was really funny in.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You remember that? Sarah Jessica Parker, way back. This is probably in the 90s.
What's the girl about the one Losing Las Vegas?
Leaving Las Vegas with Elizabeth Shue.
Elizabeth Shue.
Yes, from Karate Kid.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite movies of all time, Coen Brothers movie, Raising Arizona. I think he's fantastic. He's so ridiculously over the top and like just such a different character. He doesn't have that normal Nicolas Cage. I'm Nicolas Cage, and he's like the playing the guy, the superhero with his head on fire, the Hell Rider, whatever. My head's on fire. Okay.
Number two, Snakes on a Plane.
Snakes on a Plane.
Not see this.
Soap is the thing.
I know that
this was one of those movies that the hype was so much for it because it's almost like Barnyard Animals. Just the title, right, is what everyone made fun of. Snakes on a plane, and of course Samuel Jackson. Got to get these motherfucking snakes on a plane, like get off this plane. I remember the internet hype when they announced it was so much so there was 8 or 9 months of hype about this movie, and then the movie just couldn't live up to that.
Yeah.
I've seen parts of it, and I don't know that it would have been good anyways, even without the hype.
Yeah.
But the hype was too much; it couldn't live up to that, and it wasn't a great movie anyways.
And there were lots of spoofs around it.
Yeah, they were doing a lot of things. This on a plane. Yeah.
And number 1 is Lee Levine's favorite movie of all time, which he just mentioned.
Did he say no? I think he said favorite Will Ferrell movie of all time. You think he said it was his favorite of all time?
Favorite comedy.
Wow. We'll have to next time we get Lee back on, we'll have to ask him because.
Or we could just watch the podcast.
Because we have some right. We have some arguments, Lee and I, about comedies. Like he doesn't consider National Lampoon's Vacation with Chevy Chase a classic.
What?
Yeah, he says that's not one of the great comedies of all time. So yes, a couple weeks ago we went back to 2004 and we talked about Anchorman. This week, Lee Levine feels this is better. I do think this is a great movie. Talladega Nights, the legend Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
I like it. I just don't like the back and forth with the wives and the breaking up.
Oh my God, that's the funniest part I think of the movie. Or when he's with the kids and he's doing the baby Jesus prayer at the table. The movie is funny and there's a lot of good scenes, but one of the great comedy scenes, I will agree with Lee on this, that scene where they're eating dinner.
And they're praying?
And they're praying, overall, is one of the funniest scenes in any movie,
really?
Anytime. I mean, you got to see it, watch it again. I wish, I'll show it to you when we get off it's just so funny. There's the praying to Jesus. There's they have KFC and all this sponsored food. And then, I don't know if you remember, the little kids start mouthing off to the grandpa. And the grandpa's like, you need to take care of these kids. And they're like, shut up, old man. Like, it's really making fun of, and in fact, this was on, like, Fox News, and a lot of places did news stories about it. They're like, is this movie making fun of rural America? Like, saying our love of NASCAR, like, just how stupid these people are.
Right.
And they kind of were, you know what I mean? It was just making fun of everything, just how materialistic they were, how bratty the kids were, how disrespectful, how, like, you know, their view of religion, I'm going to pray to baby Jesus because he's my favorite. And, you know, just, it was so funny. Like, yeah, it's one of the great scenes.
You know what? I don't like to be uncomfortable.
It made you uncomfortable? Because I don't think you don't like that what they call cringe humor, that humor like Larry David or that kind of thing where people get uncomfortable. I don't think that movie's one of those things.
Really?
Yeah. I think you got to give that a second chance because I wouldn't put that in that category.
Okay.
Let us know what you think, of course. Knock it out here. Here's my Twitter. Find us here on Twitter. You can find the Twitter of the show. There it is, haha time machine. We would love you all to be friends of the show. So let us know what you think about all those movies, what your favorite. Denise, what's your favorite out of those 11 we went to?
I would say Little Miss Sunshine.
Little Miss Sunshine, yeah, great. I would say...
Oh, you're looking at the wrong list.
I would agree. No. I would agree that that's probably the best movie.
Yeah.
On the list. Again, love Ricky Bobby as well. But yeah, I would say Little Miss Sunshine overall one of them. I mean, that was just a fantastic movie. Forget how good it was. Steve Carell great in it. So good. So let's. That's our movies this week. Let's move on to the music that was happening.
Let's do it.
And the Comedy Time Machine has to be back at a certain time, so we may rush through the music.
Yes.
This week
Comedy
we have some
Time
land.
Machine is taking off.
Yes, I have some heading out of town for some gigs.
For like 3 weeks, he's leaving me.
Yeah, gigs after gigs.
So party at the mazan.
A lot of private ones, or I'd invite you all. So, but we'll keep you up to date. But again, don't forget to check us out. So, the number 10 song, if you were listening to the radio, we turned the dial up on the Time Machine radio.
A lot of like R&B and rap stuff. This is Little John Snap Your Fingers. You remember this song?
This reminds me basically of every Little John song.
Yeah.
Isn't it very much like yeah?
I love it when you all rap like.
Yeah. Isn't it very similar?
Yeah.
So that's number 10 this week.
Hold on, let me try and get it off. Okay, that's number 10.
That was number 10.
And then number 9
Little John
is Shoulder Lean.
Shoulder Lean, I don't know about by the title. Let's see if
by Young Dro featuring T.I. And you do have a T.I. story that you have to tell. So let me just play the song really quick. Do you want to tell your story? Because
what's my T.I. song? I didn't know that I have a T.I. song.
You don't have a T.I. song. You have a
T.I. story.
Story from the ESPYs.
T.I.?
Yeah, remember the girl in front of the car that was going to run you over or something?
No, that T.O. Terrell Owens.
Oh, T.O. whatever.
Terrell Owens' entourage was going to run me over one time at the ESPYs. I was helping them at the ESPYs one year, and there was an area they couldn't go in, and I was like, you can't go in here, and they pulled the car up right in front of me and friend of the show, Steve Simone. Check out his podcast as well. I believe Good Times, it's called Good Times with Steve Simone. But they literally pulled their car like it was an SUV right up to our chest. Terrell Owens, who I never liked. Obviously a talented receiver, but a kook and his crazy entourage ladies just as crazy as him. So yeah, T.I. we are one letter off.
All right, well, next time.
Number 8.
Number 8, You and Dat.
You and Dat by E40.
These song names are just.
You know what? This week I'm noticing
You know this one.
The people singing the song didn't really stick around, but the people featured on the song.
Yeah.
So like T.I. stick around. We haven't heard from Young Dro, or this is E40 featuring T-Pain. T-Pain we still hear some stuff from.
All right, so that's that. I did not. I didn't download the.
You don't like the song?
I hate this song, and I don't want it on my phone.
Can you give us some bars? It's called Unfaithful by Rihanna. No. I kind of remember this, but I don't remember how it goes.
But you know it. It's just unfaithful. It's about cheating, and it's just stupid, and I don't like it.
You don't like anything about cheating.
I don't, so I wasn't going to put it on my phone.
Yet you cheat at games when we play.
I do not. You cheat at games.
I remember go back to movies real quick. The movie Sideways. I saw the movie Sideways. Love that movie.
Oh, I don't like that movie.
You've never seen the movie.
Yes, I have. It's with that one guy, and it's about drinking wine.
Right. You watched.
Paul Giamatti cheated.
Paul Giamatti, half the movie. First of all, Paul Giamatti did not cheat.
His friend cheated. The other guy that was in that one show.
I told Denise to watch. Yes, Wings.
It's
a great movie.
I don't like it.
And so Denise stopped watching the movie halfway through.
I watched the whole thing.
You told me.
I lied.
I remember
I watched the whole thing.
Because you said no, I couldn't get to the end. Because I said, did you like this part? And
no,
you're like, I didn't get that far.
Thing. Your memory.
Because the whole movie.
How
many movies do people cheat in?
A lot, and I just don't like it.
But the movie's about Paul Giamatti, not that guy. Like the smaller characters.
I'm just telling you, I did not like it. Let's go on. Rihanna's Unfaithful, which shouldn't even be on here. It's just got on here because it was Rihanna.
So listen to that on your own. Denise doesn't want to hear because.
Number 6, It's Going Down, which is happening right now.
This isn't the song that's popular now with Timber. This
is with Young
I'm yelling
Jock.
Timber. Okay.
This sounds just like the other song. Okay, you gotta load yours up. Number 5.
So far, for me, all forgettable songs, but I have this on my iPad. The next one.
I feel like these all sound the same so far.
Yeah, you could just throw Little John going, yeah, in all those songs we've just played. But I think this is one of the great songs. You don't care for this song.
I don't.
I think this is one of the great songs of the last 20 years.
20?
Yeah. Well, this is 8 years ago now. But
I feel like you could just go like this.
This was the first we'd heard of Cee Lo. This is Crazy, of course, from Gnarls Barkley.
Okay, moving on. So the next one is Sexy Love by Neo. We're just moving right on. Yeah,
Sexy Love. This is one of those Neo does this, I think, where it's almost like who is the big fat guy that's saying like saying all the love songs? Not Lou Rawls.
No, I don't know anybody's name.
I can't think. There's very white. Like that. Like Neo's kind of like that. He's not fat, obviously, but like he's always just trying to do like sexy songs. Like even the name of the song, "Sexy Love." Like it's gonna be followed up with.
Yeah, and he looks like he's 12.
You
see? Yeah, he looks like he's 12.
But this is a while ago.
Yeah,
right?
well, it was 2006.
8 years ago, so he's 20 now.
Okay, so
Sexy
then
Love.
we've got When You Gonna Give It Up to Me by Sean Paul featuring Keshia Cole.
Is this that's not Keisha Cole. It's not Kesha with the dollar sign, not that.
Well, it's Keysha.
But that's what I'm saying. It's
I don't really know
I thought
how to
maybe
say
that's what
that.
you'd be thinking.
Oh yeah,
I can remember the song. Oh yeah, you know who's on this? Is Sean Paul is the guy who did Beautiful Girl. Beautiful.
I don't know who's it. I never know the name.
Very
of the people
reggae
that she's
inspired. I think so. But I do remember the song.
on. All right.
Number 2. This was a little break for this girl. This became her. She was like a nice, sweet girl, Nelly
and then
Furtado.
she got all slutty on you.
I turned you off.
Nope. Didn't think so.
How you doing, young lady? The feeling that you're giving really drives me.
But yeah, she got all sexy
Yeah.
in this. I remember she was like on, like Fox News would even do like little things on her because they thought she was like this sweet. And then in this video, she just went all out and like was all half dressed and sexy and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
they probably
So
wouldn't have her.
Promiscuous Girl is
Nelly Furtado. I love Like a Bird.
yeah.
You can fly away.
Number 1 is Me and You by Cassie.
Me and you. Let's hear Cassie. This was the number 1 song this week back in 2006. 3rd week of August, 2006. Don't recognize this one?
Yeah, I remember.
Can you get to the, the chorus?
How do you do that?
Let's see, it'll work on iPhone.
It sounds like the beginning. That's it.
That's it?
Awesome.
Number 1 song. I do not remember this song. And this was the number 1 song back in 2006. Well, maybe you remember it. Let us know if you remember it or not by reaching out to us at our pod Twitter. That's Affirmative. That's Lee Levine, who we were talking about earlier. That's his Twitter. Follow him. There's ours, HaHa Time Machine. Find it. Again, if you'd like to be an intern for us, reach out to us there at HaHa Time Machine. That's Lee Levine's again. Keep going back there. But find us. We love that you are all friends of the show. And tell your other friends about it, too. We're going to be back soon with some big guests. We're going to get some guests soon. We're just getting the time machine up and making sure it's working and could go in time before we bring some very great guests to the show. So tune in. Thank you for tuning in. That's what was happening this week in 2006. Do we have a sponsor for the show this week?
Burt's Bees.
Burt's Bees. Oh, yeah, big sponsor for the show. Very important in your life.
Very
there,
important
hold
in
it
my
up
life.
there. It's for those people that don't know, it's beeswax for your lips. It's a good, healthy chapstick. Do you have would you like to do a little promo for them? Do you have a little tagline?
No.
The original party animal. Barnyard Burt's Bees, the original party animal. So thanks for watching us, and we'll see you guys in the future. Pay attention to us. We're on Facebook and Twitter. Follow us there, and we'll let you know about Box Office Bashers. We would love to include you in, and we'll let you know where we're going in time. So thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you very soon in the future. Mm-hmm. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.